Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So usually this channel is dedicated to clips of me playing Fortnite and other games, but today we're going to talk about something different. I myself am a former physics major, and I also have a minor in mathematics from college, and I'm going to be talking about the reason I quit physics and went to something more finite, such as computer science. And it's because of people like this gentleman you see here. Now, I quit physics when we got to the portion of physics where it's quantum or into realms that you can't understand. So quantum physics, super small physics, or infinite physics, right? Into things where people are starting to say, well, you can't possibly understand how small that is. You can't possibly understand how big that is. So all we can do is theorize about it. And the theory is what ticks me off. And it's because of people like this guy right here. This is a video from Numberphile, and you can tell. Look at the look at his face. You can tell that he thinks he is more clever than you, and he is about to trick you and blow your mind with some cool mathematical theory. But instead, he's going to show us something that is quite literally just wrong. Just wrong. And there's no possible way it's correct. But it is accepted in physics and is a huge part of string theory. So let's watch the video, and I'll talk about it as we go along.
I'm going to give you an astounding result.
Astounding.
An astounding result.
An astounding result.
A little sum, and we're just going to see what answer it gives. 1
Plus 2
plus 3
plus 4.
plus and I include all the natural numbers, so all the way up to.
So right here, you can see that they're taking the sum of all natural numbers 1 to infinity, right? So they're going 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, yada yada yada, plus 100 plus 101 plus a million plus a million one, everything, every whole number from 1 to infinity. They're just taking the sum, adding them together. And you can see up there in the top left-hand corner that they're going to claim that the sum of all natural numbers is negative 1/12. Now you might be thinking to yourself, how is that possible? There is no way that that's possible. And I agree with you, but these guys think they know that it is correct. So let's keep watching.
Infinity. So what do you reckon the answer to this is, Brady?
Well, I would say it would tend towards infinity.
He would say that that number would tend towards infinity. I think that's a pretty logical explanation. If you were to add all numbers, you can't possibly add infinity, right? Because infinity is the big, it's not really a number. It's more of a concept. Infinity is like the largest thing ever, right? So if you add everything and everything and everything, it tends towards infinity. It's going to be a nice straight line, going right to infinity. Never stops.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
That makes
the
sense.
answer to this sum is remarkably minus a 12th.
And they're going to say it is negative 1/12. Now, the camera's kind of in the way, sorry about that, but how could you possibly think that adding whole numbers together for an infinite amount of time could possibly A, equal a negative number, and B, equal a fraction? That is not possible. Absolutely 0% not possible. I don't care what your proofs say. That is not possible.
It's amazing. I mean, I first saw this result when I started learning a bit of string theory.
And what's even more bizarre...
String theory is wrong then. String theory is wrong.
This result...
Start
is
over.
used
Start from scratch.
in many
You're wrong.
areas of physics.
This is a very well-known string theory textbook by Joe Polchinski. As you can see, sort of quite early on, page 22, we have
Page 22 is wrong.
this statement here. Which
That is wrong.
the sum of
Incorrect.
all, this is basically saying the sum of all the integers.
The sum of all
the
integers
natural numbers
is
all the way up to
negative
infinity
1/12. Absolutely
is
wrong.
Minus a 12. All right,
Let's
so
see how they
we're
say.
going to prove now, without getting our knickers in a twist with Riemann zeta functions, we're going to prove quite a simple way why the sum of all the natural numbers is indeed minus a 12. So to do that, we're going to do this in a number of steps. We're going to look at a few different sums. The first sum that I want to look at,
Great.
I'm going to call it S1.
Let's look at some sums and we'll add them together. I'm
-1
sure they'll be
plus
logically
1
correct, right?
minus 1.
If this gets you to negative
plus
112, I'm
1
sure
minus
all
1,
these
and
sums
so
make
on.
sense.
That's
Wait,
the first
hold
sum
on.
I want to look at in principle. The second sum I'm going to look at is 1 minus.
So you're going to see here in a second that the main reason why this is incorrect is because they're pointing to this sum here, which is the sum of 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1, and so on and so forth for an infinite amount of time. Now, they're going to claim that this is equal, that you can categorize this as equal to a number. So you can say, oh, well, that just equals this number. No, it can't possibly equal a number, because it doesn't tend towards anything. It's either 1 or 0, or 1 or 0, or 1 or 0, or 1 or 0. It's not anything in between. It is a bit moving back and forth. There's no in between. There's no average. It doesn't tend towards anything. It's either 1 or 0.
2 plus 3 minus 4 and so on. Carry on in that process all the way up. And the third one is, of course, going to be our one that we're really interested in, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and so on. So we're going to evaluate all these three different sums. Now, the first one is really easy to evaluate. We need to attach a number. Now, clearly, what is the answer to this? Now, you
Don't tell me
stop this
clearly.
at any point.
Don't tell me anything about this is clear. It is not clear.
Okay, if you stop it at an odd point, you're going to get the answer 1.
Right.
If you stop it at an even point, at an even point, you'll get the answer 0.
So you will either, no matter where you stop, you will either get the number 1 or the number 0. That is it. It's going to be 1 or 0. It doesn't tend towards anything. It is binary, 1 or 0.
Clearly, that's obvious, right? So what number are we going to attach to this infinite sum? Do we stop it?
You cannot attach a number to this infinite sum because it doesn't tend towards anything.
An odd or an even point? We don't know.
You don't
So
know.
take the
You don't know.
average of the two.
We're going to run this back. I'll shut up for a second. Let's run this back.
Even point. At an even point, you'll get the answer 0. Clearly, that's obvious, right? So what number are we going to attach to this infinite sum? Do we stop at an odd or an even point? We don't know. So we take the average of the.
We don't know whether we're going to stop at an odd or even point. So we'll take the average and call it a day. Does that make sense to you? We're going to take the average and that's going to be the answer? No. That's like saying 1 plus 2 plus 3. Well, equals 6. But, you know, we could also just take the average. Call it 3. Let's call it 3. That's the or call it 2. That's the average. Yeah, that's fine. Sounds good. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 2. That's the average.
2. So the answer's a half. There are other ways.
The answer is not a half. You cannot take the average of something that's infinite. You cannot divide by infinity.
To prove that this sum is a half, by the way, which we can do if you want, but
Again, did you see his dumb smirk that says, I'm smarter than you and more clever than you?
No, there'll be a link. There'll be a link there because we've done it before.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they said it is wrong math before.
So this
and
is a
prove
half.
this is a
But I
half
think
some
intuitively
way.
that's the easiest way to say it, that you either get 0 or 1. And
You either get 0 or 1. So you don't ever get a half. It doesn't ever tend towards a half. So you can't possibly be a half.
therefore, you just take the average. So this is the natural number to it.
So at this point, I feel like we've already disproven this. I feel like we've already said that this sum cannot be assigned a number. It can either be 1 or 0, depending on where you are in the sequence. It cannot be assigned a number. Definitely can't be assigned 1/2. So, boom. I think your theory's broken. But let's keep going.
Attached to this sum. But once we know this, we're laughing. Okay? Because from this,
Once we know this, we're laughing. Because now we've broken math. Math as we know it, and the proofs that we've shown are all incorrect. Haha. Let's keep going.
we can achieve everything that we want to achieve. The next step is to find out what this sum is.
Again, here we go. We're gonna take a sum of all whole numbers, which would be 1 minus 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 5. And so you're gonna see 1 minus 2. Here, let me show you this. 1 minus 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 5 minus 6. It's going to get bigger and bigger, but it's always binary. These are binary sequences. You can't take the average of something that's either this or this. There's no in between. It doesn't tend towards anything. It's always moving. You can't take the average.
So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take 2 copies of this S2. Okay, so I'm going to add it to itself. So 2 times S2 is equal to, well, let me just write it out. So I'm going to write it out twice. 1 minus 2 plus 3 minus 4, so on.
Great.
And then I'm going to add to it itself, but I'm going to shift it along a little bit.
I can point out S and 2 S2. Keep going. Just keep going. Let's keep going.
Plus
Let's watch
1
it.
minus 2 plus 3 minus 4 and so on. Okay, I've just taken 2 copies and added them together. But I've done it in a particularly nice way,
Right.
in that I just push this one along slightly on the bottom.
All
So
right.
now you see what you get. You take this one and this and this, and I get 1. So 1 plus nothing is 1. Minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
3 minus 2 is
Yep.
1. Minus 4 plus 3 is minus 1.
Great.
And so on. And I'm going to keep getting this pattern.
So you're gonna find that 2s2 equals that dumb s1, which is 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1, which tends towards nothing, and it does not exist. The limit does not exist.
So hang on a minute, I've just got back to some that I started with, which I know the answer to.
We don't know the answer.
So half,
No, it's not.
okay? So therefore I know this sum now. So I just divide through by this 2 and I get a quarter.
Oh, it's a quarter. It tends towards a quarter.
So now I know that this sum, this second sum with somewhere the signs alternate, is actually equal to a quarter. So this is my second remarkable result. Now I have everything I need to...
Remarkable results, which stands for our math is so broken that it came out with this number, but we're so stubborn in our ways that we can't possibly be wrong, so this is the answer.
prove this crazy minus a 12 thing, right? Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to subtract this one. Okay, so I'm going to subtract S2 from S. Well, let's write them out again. Okay, so I'm going to write out S first, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and so on. Okay, and I'm going to subtract S2. So that's minus, okay, let me just put a bracket in now because I'm going to minus all of this. 1 minus 2 plus 3 minus 4 and so on. Okay, okay, 1 minus 1, what's that? 0, yeah, exactly. So I get nothing from that bit. 2 minus minus 2 is 4. Okay, 3 minus 3, 0. 4 minus minus 4 is 8. And so on. And the next one, I'm going to get from the 5s, I get nothing. From the 6s, I get 12, and so on. And it
To infinity.
in that way.
To infinity, which tends toward infinity.
And now you can see we're almost there now, right? Because look what I've got here. I've got 4 plus 8 plus 12. If I take a factor of 4 out, it's 4 times 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay. It's my sum that I wanted. So now I've got a formula for my... So this is just 4 times s.
How clever.
Which is my sum. So now I just solved this equation, right? Because I know what S2 is. So I have now the expression S minus, because I know what S2 is. S2 is a quarter. Is equal to 4s. Okay, I take s from either side, so I get minus a quarter is equal to 3s, which implies that s equals minus 12.
So that's how these mathematical geniuses have proved to us that the sum of all whole numbers to infinity equals negative 1/12. Now you might be thinking to yourself, maybe I just don't know math. Maybe my understanding of mathematics is so low that they're right and I am just too stupid to understand why. Let me draw you a picture. I'm going to pull up Microsoft Paint and I'm going to disprove this. All right, so let's do some very easy math that everyone knows and is absolutely correct. Okay, so here is a grid, coordinate grid, right? And we're going to say this is our x-axis, and we're going to say this is our y-axis. And this is, these are our dashes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to infinity, right? Cool. Now here's our dashes. 1, 2, 3, to infinity, right? That's how it works. Now, this is negative y, and you would probably agree, because you should, that this tends towards negative infinity. And this, negative x, goes to negative infinity as well, right? Infinity to negative infinity. That's how numbers work. So we're going to take 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, right? So 1 plus 2 is 3. So it's really going to go about like this. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is, yeah. So it's infinity factorial. So it's going to tend towards infinity like that, right? Now they're saying that this here, which goes skyrockets to the sky, no chance of slowing down. You're always adding a bigger number, a bigger whole number to the previous large whole number, right? Is going to end up down here at negative 1/12. That's not possible. Absolutely not possible. This is broken. And the reason it's broken is because you are assuming that the sum of 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 can be A, assigned a number, and B is a half. It cannot be assigned a number because it's binary, and you cannot take an average. And the average wouldn't be a half because if you take the average, you cannot divide by infinity. So this is one of the many reasons I quit physics, but it is because of stupid, clever mathematicians who use their strange proofs to manipulate numbers in their favor so that they can try and prove things that are too small or too large for us to understand. And so their answers are always, well, it's just too small to understand, or it's just too large to understand. Negative 1/12 is not too small or too large to understand. I understand negative 1/12, and you're telling me that's the sum of all the whole numbers to infinity? That means that I now understand infinity. Infinity is negative 1/12. Does that make sense to you? Nope, because it's wrong. Anyway, guys, if you like this, give the video a thumbs up and leave a subscribe. Tell me in the comments whether you like videos like this. If you want to see me get mad at more people who think they're smarter than me, I'd be happy to do it. I don't think I'm smarter than them. They're obviously mathematicians and they're smarter than me. But in this case, they're just trying to use clever proofs to manipulate math the way they want it to be. So in this case, they're wrong, and the entire logical world is correct. So if you want to see more videos like this, leave a comment and tell me what you want me to react to next. And like we say on this channel, until next time, deuces.